your purpose is not to work, okay? Your purpose is to be yourself and do the things that you like. That's your purpose, okay? You don't work. Your purpose is not to work under a boss until the day that you crumble, all right? Retirement. It is the one thing that you have to look forward to as a worker. That and holidays. Basically anything that does not involve working is what you look forward to as a worker. But retirement is like the big holiday, right? It's the one where you're finally done. You get to say, okay, I have put in my time, I put in my hours, my labor, my whatever, right? I put my entire ball sack to the grind, and I've grinded against the stone for, 30, 40, 50 plus years, and I'm finally going to retire. And I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? Right? Yeah, because that's how that works, right? And ever since Social Security became a thing, retirement has come at about the age of 65 for most people. Because once you turn 65, the idea is that you get a basic, amount of income that you can spend and take care of yourself. You get some, I don't know exactly how it works, but you get some other benefits as well. I'm not good at the financial part of it, but the idea is that you're taken care of, right? When you're 65, we take care of you, period, end of story, right? But all that is on the table now. It's on the chopping block, thanks to people like Ben Shapiro, who has an amazing take. He says no one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem. Now, this is a really stupid take for multiple reasons. One, if you're 65, you should just automatically get everything taken care of. Right? You basically like revert to child, right? The state takes care of you. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to do anything. Like, I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, I need to reiterate to you guys that I personally believe in a post-scarcity society, nobody should be forced to work. Nobody. It's simply not necessary. That being the case, I'm fine, for right now at least, with 65 years old being the cutoff, because we live under capitalism. I can't snap my fingers and make things happen. So 65 years old, fine, whatever. And it's been that way for a while. Now, granted, there's a point to be made here. The life expectancy has gone up since Social Security became a thing. So let's see when Social Security year implemented. So January 1937, life expectancy, 1937, United States. So in 1937, the life expectancy was about 60. Okay, if you average it, it's about 60. So basically they said once you turn 65, you got Social Security. So they really weren't probably planning very well for it, to be honest with you guys. That being said, now it's about 77 is the life expectancy for the US, okay? Which I still think is pretty low, honestly. We should be doing way better than that. We should have a life expectancy of like 90, to be honest. But that's capitalism for you. 1935 was when the agency opened. Thank you. That increases nothing compared to people's increased productivity. That is also a great point. Productivity has soared, okay? American productivity over time. Let's take a look. So here we go. We got from, this is just from 1987, mind you. All right? So you can see the beer, wine, and liquor stores definitely went up. What's this? Labor productivity in the U.S. manufacturing sector dropped by 5% since 2011. Okay, but if you see from so business and manufacturing both are way up from just 1980, right? It doesn't go back too far for most of these graphs, but you guys get the idea. Productivity has soared since then, okay? American productivity, 1937 to today. Let's see. Let's see if we can find one. Here, labor productivity trends in the U.S. Index of labor productivity. Let's take a look at this one. So this is from projectproduction.org. A linear trend shows a minus 0.32% per year decline in construction labor productivity, while the trend for all non-farm industries is positive 3.06% per year. The net impact over the 48-year time period is very significant. So for all non-farm industries, so farm is this one, and all non-farm industries is this one, from 1964 to about 2010. So you guys can see the lines going up, right? Productivity, the index of labor productivity line go up, okay? We make more products, we work longer, we work harder, we work faster, stronger. You guys get the idea. The whole song by that one guy, right? So anyway, Ben Shapiro doesn't care, okay? He has decided that you are going to work harder, better, faster, stronger, longer, and like it and then not have retirement. You just get to do that until you die, until you pass away on the conveyor belt and decay on it, okay? Let's take a look at what he has to say.
And let's be real about this. It's insane that we haven't raised the retirement age in the United States. It's totally crazy. Joe Biden, if that were the case, Joe Biden should not be running.
Okay, why? Because life expectancy went up? That doesn't mean that your ability to work goes up. That just means that you get to live longer. Like, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean you necessarily can work harder. You just don't die of dysentery.
Running for president. Hey, Joe Biden is 81 years old.
My line goes
the
up
retirement
to your dad.
age in the United States at which you start to receive Social Security and you are eligible for Medicare is 65. Joe Biden has technically been eligible for Social Security and Medicare for 16 years, and he wants to continue in office until he is 86.
Yeah, and he should get off. He should just stop being president and go collect his Social Security. I agree.
In office until he is 86, which is 19 years past when he would be eligible for retirement. No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea.
Oh, I remember the one tweet that I was trying to think of. There was a Ben Shapiro tweet that said, okay, fine. If you guys want to make the age of retirement 65, then we should also do that for politicians. We should make it mandatory for politicians to quit at 65. But then your God Emperor, Joe Biden, would have to quit. Oh, woe is you, the Democrats. Oh, you have been owned in the marketplace of ideas. No. Actually, that's a great idea. Let's do it. I think even Bernie Sanders, who's, nearly as old as Joe Biden, if not as old, he's been 80 for like 50 years. I'm sure he'd probably agree too. Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah, unless you have some sort of health problem. Everybody that I know who is elderly, who has retired, is dead within 5 years. And if you talk to people who are elderly and they lose their purpose in life by losing their job and they stop working, things go to hell in a handbasket real quick. But put all of that aside.
Your purpose is not to work, okay? Your purpose is to be yourself and do the things that you like. That's your purpose, okay? You don't work. Your purpose is not to work under a boss until the day that you crumble, all right? You got art to do. You got shows to watch. You got places to see. You got experiences to have. No. I refuse to accept this narrative. Sorry, Ben.
Side, just on a
you can work
level
until you die. That's
and on
fine.
A logical level.
Not that Ben Shapiro actually works. This is his job.
When Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy in the United States was 63 years old. Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80.
We have the money to pay for it. We have the money to pay for it. Bottom line. Over 65, no longer work. Nope.
It's totally insane.
You can if you want,
but you
don't have to.
You should be able to work from the time that you are essentially 20 to the time that you are 65, which is a 45-year period, pay in, and then you will receive Social Security benefits sufficient to support you and your family, you and your wife or whatever, for like another 20 years. That's crazy talk.
No, it's
that is not fiscally sustainable.
I think that no. I think that you should be able to do that forever. I think that you should have universal basic income. That's just me.
Sustainable.
It's perfectly sustainable.
If you have to raise the retirement age to 60.
Here's the thing. People assume that if you just get basic universal income, like let's say, put aside the retirement thing for a second. Let's say that you get basic universal income for everybody, right? Like starting when you're a baby, going all the way up until you die. Universal basic income, you get what you need, you give what you can, right? And the give what you can part is what's important. Okay, you don't have to be coerced to be a productive member of society. For most people, I should say. And most people who aren't productive are not happy. Okay? If you're not making things, if you're not doing things, if you're not, contributing to your surroundings, the vast majority of people are not happy living that way. Okay? It's usually a result of depression and burnout. All right? This idea that people would just stay home on their lazy fat asses on the couch or whatever and melt into it, and watch Grey's Anatomy all day. It's a farce. It's silly. All right. The other day, let me tell you guys a story. The other day, I was in a proper depressive state, one that I've never been in, like not that bad at least. I've been in one before, but that was really bad that day. And for the life of me, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with myself. Nothing felt satisfying. Nothing felt productive. Nothing felt like it meant anything or was entertaining or anything. And I was miserable that day. That was on Saturday, I remember. I was miserable. That was one of the worst days of my life. And I felt useless. I felt useless. And I think most people get to feel that way after not doing things for a long enough time. You know, it's not going to be perfect ever. And there's always going to be some coercive elements. But I think in a more perfect world, we would simply trust people to be productive. You know what I mean? And yes, Ben needs to go shave.
67 or 68, that everyone is going to fall apart. My parents are that age. My parents are not retired. And they shouldn't retire. It would be very bad for them to retire. By the way, it's disrespectful.
Why? Do you hate your parents?
67, 68, 69 years old to suggest that they are
nice
in the same shape as people who are 65 were in 1940.
He's so lame, he didn't even go for the 69 joke.
It's not true at all. Have you met a 65-year-old lately? 65-year-olds are not old in the United States.
I don't care.
68-year-olds are not old in the United States. Again, Joe Biden thinks he's not old, and that dude is running for president again, and that dude actually is old, and he's 81.
Joe Biden, didn't he start his State of the Union speech by saying that he's super old? I'm pretty sure that's how he started it. It does look like he sprayed it on.
I failed to see how a country in which our entire...
Conservatives and spraying on their makeup. Name a better duo.
I failed to see how a country in which our entire leadership class is 80 plus is telling you that we should have a retirement age of 65. It makes no sense at all.
Agreed. Make them all quit. Good job. Good idea. Trump too. That would include Donald Trump. I'm just saying. But yeah, this could not be a more stupid platform to run on. Ever since Social Security was introduced, trying to run, well, he's not running. I'm not saying that, but a platform to have, I guess. You know, something to tout. Everybody got all over Ben Shapiro for this because Social Security is simply embedded in our society now. You know, like there's no putting that cat back in the bag. People like it too much. So if you try to tell people, no, your retirement age has to be higher, buddy. You got to work until you're nothing but bone. So you're nothing but bone till you rot into the ground. That's how long you have to work. It's not going to work. Okay, people are not going to like you very much. And people did not like this. You know, even conservatives like Social Security. Let's look up Social Security approval rating. Rating conservatives. Here we go. Public opinions from NASI.org. These findings hold true across party lines. Those agreeing include 87% of Democrats. Here, Americans are also willing to pay for Social Security. Let's just open the page. With 61 million people receiving Social Security benefits, Americans recognize that Social Security is a critical program. Large majorities of Americans say they don't mind paying Social Security taxes because of the security and stability the benefits provide to millions of retired Americans, disabled individuals, and children and widowed spouses of deceased workers. These findings hold true across party lines. Those agreeing include 87% of Democrats, 81% of independents, and 72% of Republicans. Americans are also willing to pay for Social Security because they value it for themselves, 73%, and their families, 73%. Well, there you go. It's across party lines, baby. So Ben Shapiro, I'm sorry, this is a very shitty take from you, a shapoo-poo take, if you will. But what else is new? You know, his response was the following. Yesterday, I apparently broke the internet with the hot and spicy subject of Social Security and retirement. Today, I broke down what are actually two separate arguments that many are incorrectly conflating. 1. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme that is 100% going to bankrupt the country. 2. It's a free country. If you have the money to retire and you want to, that's your choice. But work is a large part of a fulfilling and purposeful life. And retirement as we know it today, sending the elderly out to pasture to wither away, is not how we were created to live. And then he has a 24-minute video, which we're not going to watch. That about sums it up. You know, he just thinks that retirement is apparently sending them out to pasture, which is not the case. It just means you don't have to slave away anymore. You know, and that's a good thing, actually, if you're 65 or older. Of course, Ben Shapiro is also part of the party that wants to bring back child labor, right? Child labor in Florida. Florida House votes to loosen child labor laws a year after tougher immigrant employment laws. A year after Florida enacted a new law making it more difficult for employers to hire immigrants in the country illegally, the House passed a bill Thursday to let 16 to 17-year-olds work longer and later hours. So if you're 16, you're in high school, You get to work 40 hours a week, you know, at minimum wage, on top of the homework, on top of football, on top of soccer, on top of band practice, on top of chess team, on top of, you know, anything your parents need you to do, picking up your little sister from soccer practice, whatever. You know, like, you get to do all of that now. It's great, right? Right? Because we have 76 hours in there every day. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time to do all that, right? No, of course not. That's actually really stupid. You know, they just want people to work, is the bottom line. They want fetuses to work, you know? On that note, just as sorry, there's a little bit of a tangent, but if you actually look and dig into the abortion argument, this is a little bit tinfoil hat of me, but if you look into the pro-life argument, quote-unquote pro-life, aka forced birth, you start to think maybe they just want more kids to be born so that they can toss them into the grinder, you know, and extract their essence, keep the machine pumping so that they can, you know, just profit. You know, maybe that's why they want that, you know? I'm just saying. Yeah, they want an army of workers. They want they want an army of workers and an actual army to protect them from people who don't want an army of workers. Isn't there a contradiction here between Ben, no one should retire, and Ben, Joe Biden is too old? No, I'm sure. No, I don't think so. I think that you could break down, like, he thinks that Joe Biden's too old because he's got dementia or something. You know what I mean? I don't think even Ben Shapiro, at least not outwardly, would say that people with dementia should work. I think even he's not that stupid. Yeah, it does sound more, my tinfoil hat conspiracy does sound more and more likely every day. Every day we peel off a layer of the tinfoil, right? Yes, great George Carlin quote. Thank you, Guitar Rocker. We'll end on that. Conservatives want live babies so they can raise them to be dead soldiers. So yeah, good quote to end on. And yeah, Ben Shapiro, suck my dick. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.